Hello everybody and welcome to episode 8 of All the Mods 9. So I wanted to start off today by kind of finishing up what we did last time, and that was kind of completing the terraforming that we did around the processing facility. Because as you guys remember, the bridge kind of disconnected to nothing, but now it actually has land to connect to, and I don't know what my obsession is with cliffs. I keep making them. It's just my brain autopilots to just making another one. They take a decent amount of time too, but I keep doing them. But whatever, it's fun. So now, thankfully, the bridge connects to some land, and I have a road going up the hill that I made. So we should have a decent amount of space to work with now. There is still more terraforming to be done for sure, but I kind of just want to take a break from that for now. So to start off today as well, I was going to need to find an ME meteor, or an AE meteor, and luckily there was one pretty close next to us. And this was so that we could get all the patterns for AE2. And I'm going to need these 4 patterns to, well, I mean, you probably guessed it, to get into AE2. That is going to be the plan today. One other thing I wanted to mention is thank you guys for all the comments on the last video. I seriously do appreciate all the support that I've been getting on this new series. But anyways, let's go and get started into the plan today. So I think I'm going to stay inside the processing facility because what I want to do, especially today, is automate Certus quartz. This is something that I usually like to do before or around the same time that I get into applied energistics, and this is just so I have a lot of Certus quartz at all times. And if you guys remember from 1 or 2 episodes back, we actually got this flawless budding Certus quartz from a quest reward. Now the way that these work is that every time you break them, they're going to go 1 tier below, and eventually they turn into just a Certus quartz block, which is kind of useless. I mean, you can craft it into Certus quartz, but that doesn't really matter. But the great thing about the flawless one is that it doesn't actually decay. I'm going to go ahead and place this here. Now, I can no longer break this. This is going to be here forever. I mean, as long as it doesn't decay. If this actually does decay, then I'm in for a long ride here, but hopefully it doesn't. So, in order to actually automate Certus quartz, in the newer versions of applied energistics, I think it's a little bit more complicated because it's no longer just an ore. So, what we're going to do, or what we're going to need some growth accelerators, and we're also going to need some chargers. At least this is so that we can speed this up, because right now it's really slow. What we're also going to need is a sensor, and then we're also going to need some sort of block breaker, but I think I'm just going to use modular routers. So, I just need to do a little bit of crafting to get this charger and a few growth accelerators, and this shouldn't really take me that long. Montage time! Alrighty, so hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of a montage. I have gone ahead and finished this. Now, it luckily is not that complicated because I also looked up to confirm the flawless budding Certus quartz does not decay, ever. But luckily, we can just use a modular router with this breaker upgrade, or module, to detect whenever the Certus quartz is done growing. I guess I can go ahead and show that here. So I'm matching by block the Certus quartz cluster, so it's only going to break it whenever this is fully grown. And then I have these 4 growth accelerators, and if you are going to use these, remember that you have to have an energy acceptor. They use AE energy, not FE. And I've also gone ahead and I've connected that up to our storage line. So as you can see up here, they are being imported into here, and we already have a decent amount, which is good. Another thing you might notice is I've gone ahead and I put upgrades in all these drawers, and I've also locked them all because we're getting to the point where we might fill up on some drawers, so this might get full in not that long. So I don't want that to overflow into any more drawers. I kind of just want it to back up. So next up on the list is that I actually need to make a whole bunch of inscribers. Now I should have everything I need. I'm not going to make 8 of them. I don't think I'm ever going to need 8 of them. I think I need 4. I don't know how many. Yeah, I'm going to need 4 of them. So we're going to need one to make the gold, one for the Certus quartz, and one for the diamond variation. We're also going to need one for the silicone variation. It would also seem that it's time to expand our power into the attic. Well, I guess I have a lot of room up here. It's just I don't really have room for cables. I really should have thought about it while making this house. Of course, it has to be raining. So I'm going to have these inscribers up here for now, and I can give each of them a press that does something different. But to really get any of these, I'm going to need a lot of silicone. To get silicone, I need to crush down Certus quartz, and then I believe just smelt this Certus quartz dust. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and just start making some of the processors. Yeah, like this. Then I'm also going to need some gold and diamonds. Also just realized I do need one more inscriber. So I think I'm just going to make a stack of each one, including the diamonds, and just kind of hope it's enough for what I want to do. So another thing that I'm going to want to put in here is acceleration cards, because as you can see, these are really slow. I don't think these are too expensive. No, they're not. They're just some Fluix crystals and diamonds. So I'm going to get to a little bit more crafting, and as usual, I will be back. Alright, so all of the processors have been finished, and I'm missing 10 of these because I used them to make all the acceleration cards, which made this a lot faster. Alright, so now that we have a bunch of Certus quartz and all of this stuff crafted up, I should be able to grab, mostly everything I need to get a good system up and going. We can upgrade Jimmy again, won't that be cool? So, I'm gonna need an energy acceptor. This doesn't look too bad. I'm also going to need an ME drive, an ME controller, I'm going to want my crafting terminal, and then a disk. So once again, it's back to crafting. Alright, so now really the only thing I'm missing is the disk drive. I already have the part for it, but this thing needs netherite. And the reason I'm using this one is because the normal disk drives in AE have an item limit. Yeah, so as you can see, you can only hold 63 different types of items, and that sucks. I'm not a big fan of it. We have a lot of different types of items, right? So I will be using this one from AE2 things, but it does need netherite, so I am going to have to go to the nether. Alrighty, so if also I'm not mistaken, I found some and it automatically got put in here. Yes, I did. Okay. So, once again, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can crush this and actually triple it. Yeah, you can. We will absolutely be tripling this because I don't want to go back. So I should be able to crush this, and then all I need to do is enrich it, which is kind of crazy to me. Would you look at that? We just tripled our netherite. So, I think this is how you craft netherite. Yes! Boom. 3 pieces of netherite. That feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Boom. And then we have our 64 disk drive. So now we have everything to actually make a system and start using it. I'm gonna set this up down in the basement. So I think temporarily for right now, I don't need you here. I'm gonna set it just right here. So if I put my controller here, it should connect. It's gonna have all this cool stuff in it. I should be able to just connect up everything, except I don't have my storage crafting thing yet, which I guess I should have made, huh? Okay, so I have my crafting terminal. I should be able to just put a cable kind of anywhere here, and now I can start putting stuff in here, and it's gonna go into this disk drive here, which is cool and all, and I'm gonna put some stuff in here. But obviously we are gonna want a lot more controllers because of the whole channels thing. Now, I'm not gonna super duper explain channels in a super duper depth, but basically every single device uses a channel, and every single controller has a certain amount of channels on each side, and there's better ways of transmitting channels and getting things around, working things around. But this whole system kind of brings up the question of where do we want like our main base to be? Because if I'm being honest, this basement doesn't have really enough space for all the stuff I want to do with Applied Energistics and my storage system and my base in general, so we are gonna have to make something bigger here in the future. But the question is, where do I want to do that? And this brings us to a new segment of today's video. We're gonna do a little bit of building on camera, or at least what I kind of follow when I do building, or at least big projects. So to kind of get started, what I want to do, I do want to keep like this village area theme, this industrial theme over here, but for main base storage operations and whatnot, I think I want to expand this way because as you can see, there's just a huge amount of land over here that I can work with. But also when building huge things, I think it's important to keep kind of a pattern, one, so it's not so difficult to build, and also it just kind of makes things look better. A small instance of me doing that would kind of be this bridge, right? As you can see, I mean, everything is the same. I don't know why it wouldn't be with the bridge, but I mean, you get the point. We have the moss on the bottom, and that's probably going to be the same for most of the bridges I build, just to kind of keep the theme going for all of these big bridges I have. And you can also see the same themes as well in all the windows I do. You'll notice that the same windows over there have the same pattern here with these vertical windows and then these checkered, I don't know, they're not checkered, but these windows on top. So I think for the new base, I definitely want to go bee themed because, well, I haven't really made a bee themed base yet. And seeing as they're like my favorite animal and my skin is a bee, I thought it would be fitting. So I just have a few things going on here that I could iterate and reiterate inside of my new base that I build. But like I said, these are just kind of like basic first like movements forward. What do I want to do? Kind of get a theme for the base. I definitely do think I want to do a bee themed base, but we'll get there. But obviously none of that is really possible without me chopping down probably a lot of these trees and doing a lot of digging. So I think the plan for at least today is I want to get a little bit of an area settled out for our AE system so we can get our storage set up. Because that is, I'm not going to lie to you, the main part of most of my bases, because I like to have my, or I guess it's the ME system, manage a lot of stuff for me, because it's probably one of the better aspects of the mod, aside from just the storage, is the amount of automation that you can do with Applied Energistics. Anyways, you guys probably hear music. It's montage time again. Alright, so I have dug out a very large hole here. This should be enough space for, I mean, let's be real, probably the entire base. We'll see if I need to expand out more. And obviously this is going to take multiple episodes to finish. There's no way I'm getting all of this done today. And I've gone ahead, and as you can see, I have dug out one out this way, and I've also one out that way, so we can do our whole chunk rule that we used. So I've also gathered a whole bunch of blocks. Now, a lot of it isn't in my bag at the moment, but that's okay. What I want to do is figure out where exactly I want to put my ME system, and I kind of want it in the center, which should be just right here. So I believe this should be good, according to our rule. So the center of this chunk, I think is right there, actually. No, it's definitely not. Okay, so this is the center, but I kind of want it to be a circle just a little bit. This is where I'm going to put, like, the controller array or whatever you want to call it. So basically the whole point is I want to have my ME system in the center so everything kind of has easier access to it, and also so we can wire things around easier and whatnot, and this, I think, should work pretty well for us. So I'm going to get to some building, and I will be back. Alrighty, so I have a little something down here, a little bit of a plan. I think I really like these steel scaffolding. It's just they're a little expensive because they take, well, steel, which is iron. But hopefully that shouldn't be a problem for us that much anymore. And then this amethyst I have here, this is going to be our controller for AE. So I have this big, huge cylinder, circular thing in the middle of our base, right? It's still definitely a work in progress. I still need to decorate a little bit. These walls could definitely use some touching up. I don't super duper know what I want to do for the design of it yet, though. But this is going to be the shape of our controller. Hopefully it works. So the plan is I want to be able to have ME cables that go up and down throughout our base. And that's basically why I have the design like this. So I have all access to all of these channels on top, which I can move up. And I also have access to all the channels on the bottom, which I can move down, then go through the floor, and then these through the ceiling is kind of the point of this. And I also want to be able to access it, so I have a few different access points on top of here, which I think this looks so cool. And I think I am going to use these steel scaffoldings throughout my base as the walkways, because I want this to kind of look like a big industrial thing. I don't know, I think it's going to be cool. Alrighty, so I've done actually a lot of building. It's been a little bit over like an hour, 2 hours, and maybe like an hour and a half. And I think I kind of have an idea for what I want to do. So I want to have this yellow accent throughout the base, and I'm trying to create like a pillar on this main platform. And you might notice that it's a bit of a hexagon, right? Like honeycombs. Anyways. These amethysts are going to be like, these are going to be like my access points or like machines and whatnot. Like I might have my crafting grid here, another grid here and whatnot. I think that's going to be kind of cool. I still have to set things up, and I really love these steel scaffoldings because we can see through them. Because I want to have, like I said, I need cables running up through here. So I'm going to have something down here that we can see, and I've gone ahead and I've done the same thing kind of over here. I've been messing around with it. The cables, I want to be able to see them go down. Obviously, like I said, there's still so much work to be done. But things are starting to come together just a little bit, which I am a big fan of. I do definitely think I need to change up this pillar just a little bit. I've been messing around. I'm not sure how much I really like this part here with the hexagon. I might need to change it from the circle pillar to something else. We might need to end up changing this hexagon to something else. I think that's what we'll probably end up actually doing, simply because it might just not fit that well. And I'm sure I'll change some colors around eventually, like this cyan terracotta I have down here. I think I am going to change this to something else. I'm not super sure yet. Alrighty, it has been a lot of time. We worked on this pretty much all day and a little bit more than that. So I have my ME system hooked up over here. Obviously, there's still nothing in here. I want to finish the controller. So I want to be able to access all of my channels by next episode because we are definitely going to be using them. So I'm going to need to craft a whole bunch of these. Luckily, they're pretty cheap. I just need to count how many I need. If I did my math correct, I should need around 40 of them, which I don't think is going to be that bad. I actually think I have everything I need for that. I might need more Skystone, actually. Yep, definitely going to need more Skystone. Alright, so I've actually had to change the design of the ME controller simply because of the way that they work, which, I mean, I think is a little weird, but I'm sure there's some reason for it. So this is what we have to go with. I think it still looks pretty cool. We should have channels for, I mean, the rest of the series. Surely, I don't see anything wrong with this. So I think that does bring us to the end of or at least the end of the bulk of today's projects, but I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the goal of this series. So as you guys know, there's this item called the ATM star, and this, I'm pretty sure, is gonna be my end goal for today, or not for today, absolutely not, but for the series, is to get this all the mod star. I will not be using Greg Tech in this series. I'm sorry if you guys wanted me to. I'm definitely not doing any Greg Tech. And that's not because I dislike Greg Tech. I actually think it's really fun. It's just, I'm not the greatest at it, and I don't think it super duper fits in the all the mods kind of style. I might do another series on Greg Tech. I think the main Greg Tech mod pack is New Horizons, but that mod pack is quite intensive. Well, unfortunately, that is all I had planned for today's episode, so if you guys did enjoy, please hit the like button down below. Hit subscribe if you want to see more of me, and I apologize for this video taking so long to come out. I just started my summer classes, but they shouldn't be so bad now. It's just the first week of homework was kind of crazy. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for all the comments last time. I had a comment telling me to put upgrades in my barrels. I did that. Thank you so much for that suggestion. That's definitely going to hold us over until we get our ME system sorted. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of All the Mods 9. Later!